Welcome to the Voice of America's Newswords.
Speaking to U.S. senators, CIA Director John Brennan had to answer many questions when he was nominated for the job.
Democrats repeatedly questioned Brennan about the U.S. government's use of armed, unmanned aircraft, known as drones.
Drones are planes flown by people in another location. They have been used by the United States against terrorists in places that are difficult for soldiers to reach.
Americans are debating how drones should be used.
Now, the next time you hear the word drone,
Drone.
your English will be good enough to know what this newsword means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's Newswords.
Here is U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry talking about U.S. and Chinese relations.
Listen for this word.
Emergence.
We welcome the emergence of a peaceful, stable, prosperous China that contributes to the stability and the development of the region and that chooses to play a responsible role in world affairs.
Emergence means the act of something appearing. It is coming out of hiding or just beginning.
Emergence also can describe nature, like the emergence of flowers which come every spring.
Now, when you hear the word emergence, you will know what this newsword means.
Welcome to Voice of America's Newswords, where we teach you about words in the news.
When you hear the word encouraging in a news story, what does it mean? In this monthly jobs report, was the news good or bad?
Encouraging.
175,000 jobs created is an encouraging sign of improvement in our labor market.
Encouraging means to give hope that something good will happen. In this case, more jobs will lead to a better economy.
And if people encourage you to do something, it means they support you and want you to succeed. Now, when you hear the word encouraging, your English will be good enough to know what this newsword means. Welcome to the Voice of America's Newswords, where we teach you about words in the news.
U.S. Army Private Bradley Manning was convicted of making public the largest number of secret documents in history.
After 3 years in prison, the 25-year-old soldier and former intelligence analyst arrived at military court to hear his sentence, 35 years for committing espionage.
Espionage means to spy. It is when a country uses people to get secret military or political information about another nation.
And industrial espionage is when a company spies on another business to get plans or technical information.
Now, when you hear the word espionage, your English will be good enough to know what this newsword means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's Newswords. This phrase is important when doing business with another country.
Exchange rate.
With regard to China, we've made very clear the importance of exchange rates being based on market-determined forces.
An exchange rate sets the value of money when it is traded between countries. It determines what your money is worth if you want to use it overseas. It is an important part of doing business because it can help companies decide whether they can buy or sell goods in other countries.
Now, when you hear the phrase exchange rate, your English will be good enough to know what these newswords mean. For more newswords, visit our website at learningenglish.voanews.com.
Welcome to Voice of America's Newswords.
This newsword has something to do with speed.
Expedite.
Other groups are also working on treatments and vaccines. Researchers at NewLink Genetics in Iowa say they have a vaccine that was 100% effective when given to monkeys. The company received a federal grant to step up its work and expedite human testing.
Expedite. Expedite means to speed up or hurry up a process.
Our story is about the deadly Ebola virus. The U.S. government says the company NewLink Genetics can speed up testing their vaccine on humans.
So the next time you hear the word expedite, you will know what this news word means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words.
Here is a story about U.S. Vice President Joe Biden's recent trip. He was meeting with the president of Turkey.
Facilitate.
This is their first meeting since the vice president alleged in a speech last month that Ankara helped facilitate the rise of the extremist group by allowing foreign fighters to cross into Syria from Turkey. The comments outraged Turkey's president.
Facilitate means to help cause something to happen or to make something easier. This can be seen as a good or a bad thing.
In our story, the U.S. had accused Turkey of helping an extremist group.
Now, the next time you hear facilitate, you will know what this news word means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words, where we teach you about words in the news.
Listen to this story about how U.S. lawmakers voted to avoid a government default.
They say it is only a temporary delay and does not fix the underlying problem of a growing fiscal deficit with a combination of taxes and spending cuts.
The word fiscal has to do with money. It refers to the budget policies of businesses and governments.
Our news story is about U.S. fiscal policy. It is about how money is raised through taxes and how the money is spent.
Now, when you hear the word fiscal, your American English will be good enough to know what this news word means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words, where we teach you about words in the news.
Today's word deals with an election in Afghanistan.
Fraud. U.S. officials warn that violations of the Afghan Constitution could result in the end of U.S. assistance. They say charges of vote fraud must be examined, and the next president should form a government of national unity.
Fraud is a crime. It means someone who takes something of value from people by tricking them.
In Afghanistan, there were charges that people changed the result of a presidential election with false votes. So when you hear the word fraud, you will know what this news word means.
Check out more news words at our website, learningenglish.voanews.com.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words, where we teach you about words in the news.
Listen for the word that means not working. Here is U.S. House of Representatives Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi.
We thank our federal workers for what they have done. I'm sad about the fact that they had to be furloughed and have this uncertainty in their lives, on top of every other uncertainty in our economy.
A furlough is a temporary leave from work. More than 800,000 U.S. federal workers were furloughed in 2013.
Congress could not agree on a budget, so workers were told to stay home. Much of the government was closed. Now, when you hear the word furlough, you will know what this news word means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words. This word is used in stories about your health.
Glaucoma.
Glaucoma affects more than 70 million people around the world, according to the World Health Organization. People typically don't even know there's a problem until glaucoma has permanently destroyed much of their vision. In China and India, Glaucoma is the second leading cause of blindness.
Glaucoma is an eye disease. It is one of the top causes of blindness in the world. It is irreversible. That means once a person has it, doctors cannot cure it.
Experts say a yearly eye exam is the best way to prevent glaucoma. Now, when you hear the word glaucoma, you will know what this news word means.